As part of today's demo, I'm excited to show you how GitHub Copilot can streamline your development process. We will work with a C++ project where I will demonstrate how Copilot can be integrated seamlessly into your workflow. So let's jump into our project. As you can see, currently I'm in my code space and this is a C++ project. So this C++ project is basically structured into three key parts. One is with respect to the source converter folder, which contains the main logic for different unit conversions, such as temperature and distance. It also contains a test folder, which contains, unit test for verifying the correctness of our converters. And it also contains a README file, which provides clear instructions for building, running, and testing the project, along with few exercises that will demonstrate the Copilot capabilities. So this project is intentionally left incomplete to demonstrate how Copilot can assist with tasks such as adding new functionalities or improving code quality. In the interest of time, we will not be compiling or executing this code. So let me demonstrate how Copilot assists with these tasks. Let's take a look at the first task where we will implement the missing distance conversion functionality using Copilot inline flow. Let's open the distance.cpp file and scroll down to below. As you can see, this logic is incomplete. So I'm going to ask Copilot via inline prompt and giving a prompt to complete the function for distance conversion class between the parameters. So let's hit enter on this and see what comes back as part of the suggestion. As we can see, the response streaming back in real time. So if you are not really happy with this change, you can regenerate the change or regenerate the response. However, I'm going to accept this change and save the file. And go to main.cpp file and add all the relevant configurations for distance class. So I'm going to hit enter and hit on tab. Hit enter to add an option for distance. Scroll down and hit enter for conversion type class for distance and hit enter, save the file. So with this, we have completed, the distance conversion class and included this settings in the main.cpp file. Let's go back to the README file and look at the second task, which is to create test for distance function. So go to test directory, create a distance cpp file and open inline chart by pressing Ctrl I and ask Copilot to generate unit test by providing the prompt as to create unit test between the function to verify between the parameters and hit enter. And watch the suggestion streaming back in real time. It basically, reads my context from my prompt and auto completes the logic. Now it generated the prompt based on my prompt. So I'm going to accept this change and save the file and go to CMake file and add the distance test executable file and save the file. So with this, we have created some test for distance function class. So let's move on to the third task where we will refactor all the instances of printf and scanf in the code and replace it with standard input and standard output for modern C++ style input output. So to begin, I will open the files containing the code. I'm going to start with the distance.cpp file and then I'll use Copilot inline chart to automate the refactoring. As you can see, so these are the lines using printf and scanf. So I will now type a command to guide Copilot to replace with standard input on output. Select the content and open the inline chart and give the prompt to refactor all the occurrences of printf and scanf to use standard input and output. I will hit enter and watch the suggestions stream back in real time. Copilot will identify all occurrences of printf and scanf in the file and suggest a replacement with standard input and output. As you can see, it started giving suggestions for and change it to standard input and output. It replaces the standard with standard printf with standard count, maintaining the same output functionality using modern syntax. So if you are satisfied with the change, I'll accept that and save the file. Let's do the same for temperature.cpp file. By selecting the prompt, open the inline chart and give the prompt and hit enter. So it's automatically changing from printf to standard output. So if you are happy with the change, you can accept the changes and saving the file. And go to main.cpp file, do the same. You can see Copilot has replaced printf with standard input. So I'm going to accept the change and save the file. So with this, we have completed to refactor the code. And let's move on to the final task where we'll add a new conversion class for weight to convert between kilos and pounds. So let's create a file under converters folders and give a file name with weight.cpp. And then I'll open, start typing a descriptive command to let Copilot understand, the intent. So it will generate the code for me based on the context of my, comment and existing code. So if you look at, I have intentionally made a typo here. So instead of writing weight, I wrote 8. So let's see how Copilot interrupts this and provides suggestions. So let's hit enter. As you can see, Copilot has started giving suggestions and trying to complete the code. And it created the class structure with the methods that closely matches the requirement. So I am happy with this change and saving the file. So it suggested a class structure, and also even though we have given the typo, Copilot is smart enough to understand the context and suggests creating a class named weight converter with a method to handle with weight conversions. And as you can see, it created the weight conversion and not a 8 conversions. So it interrupts the content correctly based on the surrounding context. So let's create a header file as well. So create a new file with weight.h and then open the file and give the prompt to create header file and hit enter. So it started giving suggestions. So accept this change and save the file. So and then go to types.h file and add the weight file, which I have added already. And then go to main.cpp file and add all the relevant class for weight class. Just start giving the suggestions and add an option for weight dots option and go down, add a conversion type class for weight and save the file. So with that, we have successfully completed all of the tasks outlined in the README file. Thank you for your time today. I hope this demo gave you insight into how Copilot can empower your team to code smaller, smarter and faster.